It's a bright and sunny day out here at Wilson Field as the Chapman Panthers meet the Virginia Tech Hokies. A game that the Hokies have traveled more than 2,000 miles for this Saturday afternoon. It's a great day to play some men's lacrosse as we see these two Division I teams battle it out on the field, both looking for a win today. Where they stand, Virginia Tech has played double the games than Chapman. It's going to be interesting to watch how it all unfolds here on the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. And welcome back here to Wilson Field for this matchup between the Virginia Tech Hokies at the Chapman Panthers. My name is Lindsay Johnson, and I'm going to be your play-by-play commentator for today, and I'm here with the lovely Ryan Kaiser. Ryan, are we excited for this game today?
Yeah, I'm really excited for today's game. There's a ton of different factors heading into it. You know, the Virginia Tech Hokies have played twice as many games as Chapman, so it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of translates over on the field to their gameplay. Chapman also has a lot of freshmen. They have 13. The Hokies only have one freshman. But now looking at the SLC standings for the Southwestern Conference, you can go ahead and see that Chapman's at the bottom.
Yeah, so Chapman's unfortunately at the bottom right now, which is very different compared to seasons past. And, you know, always SDSU is leading the leaderboard right now with 5 wins and 1 loss. But, you know, we're in this matchup today against the Virginia Tech Hokies who are not in the SLC for MCLA divisions. And so it's going to be great. This game today is going to be about instilling confidence in these Panthers. It's a very tough matchup, but still it's going to be about instilling that confidence, which honestly has not been that much of an issue so far. These Panthers always make sure to bring the energy, but today that's what we're here to do. And, you know, it's going to be a tough matchup, but it's going to be great to see what the Panthers can do here today.
Yeah, heading into our top player, starting with Virginia Tech, we have number 42. It's going to be Alex Ashley. He's a really key player, midfielder for the Hokies. He's a senior from Ashburn, Virginia. In the 2023 season, he scored 7 goals and 3 assists. Just last season, he had 14 goals in the season and 5 assists. So far, he's had 18 goals and 5 assists. And like I said, last season, he was an all-conference midfielder. He's going to be on the starting lineup for the Virginia Tech Hokies, so it's definitely a really smart decision, a decision that could help shape the first couple quarters of the game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that go ahead and plays out. But our next key player is going to be number 44, Dante DeColibis.
Exactly, number 44, Dante DeColibis, the attacker, the junior from San Clemente, California. What an incredible player we have today, folks. He has had 7 goals so far this season with 5 assists, 34 shots in total. So Dante is really such a key player where he really focuses on the technicalities of lacrosse. I got the great chance to speak with him last week, and he shared that he just loves to focus on exactly the intricacies and really putting in the research to show, you know, how he can really attack in the right ways. So he's very well researched and knows his opponent well.
For sure, Dante is definitely a leader on the team, something that, you know, really the Panthers are going to benefit from, especially since they're such a young team right over here. But I've talked to Adam McDonald. He's going to be one of the players and also on the starting lineup. He's an attacker for the Panthers heading into today's game. I've talked to him. He said the morale of the team is high, and the leadership that Dante brings is really going to be really helpful for the rest of the team, as well as those freshmen that I was telling you about. So kind of seeing this team sportsmanship, this camaraderie, and seeing how we have these athletic leaders here on the field is something that is definitely going to be really important and really good to analyze throughout today's game. So we'll definitely be following up on that and some of those key moments a little bit later once the game starts in just a few minutes. But for now, Benjamin Sherman, our sideline reporter, has some details on the Hokies' journey to becoming here, or to getting here. Ben, what do you have for us?
Lindsay, Ryan, thank you. On one side today, we have the Virginia Tech Hokies travel all the way out from Blacksburg, Virginia to come and play this game against the Panthers. They arrived staggered, some of them arriving as early as Thursday night, some of them arriving as late as 8 p.m. last night. Their energy levels are going to vary throughout this game today, so keep an eye on that. On the other side, Ryan Sugar, number 23, freshman star goalie, 31 saves in his 3 games played. I talked to him earlier this week. He told me he's feeling a little iffy about his role, still settling in and getting used to being a freshman in a starting role. Coach Joel Callis is clearly putting a lot of faith in him, though, getting the starting nod today, expected to play the entirety of this game. I'll have a bunch more updates from you from the turf, but for now, Lindsay, Ryan, back up to you guys.
Thank you so much for that insight, Ben. We really appreciate it. And, you know, it's really interesting to talk about such a dynamic player like Ryan Sugar. You know, he's only a freshman, and after speaking with Coach Joel Callis this week, Callis shared that Sugar is now the full-time goalie for Chapman. After, you know, Jack Duffy has been also an incredible goalie on this team, but right now Sugar is really stepping up to be the backbone of the defense, which is incredibly important for, you know, playing a game like Virginia Tech, because Virginia Tech's strategies is really to focus on their 10-man ride is what it's called, where they like to substitute out their goalie and put him up in the offense to really try to rush the opponent's team. So it's going to be extremely important for players like Sugar to be standing up and make sure that they can provide that strong defensive wall to protect against Virginia Tech's 10-man ride.
Oh, for sure. This is also going to be an example of some freshman leadership like we were talking about. He's going to be really a key component as part of the Chapman Panthers' game strategy. As we talked about, he's become the full-time main goalie for them. So seeing how he kind of leads the team into defending that goal against the 10-man ride that Lindsay was just talking about just a few moments ago is definitely going to be quite important. And so, you know, this just goes to show how dynamic the team is with, you know, this young class as we were talking about. So he's definitely, Ryan Sugar has definitely proven himself as a very dynamic and flexible player, which is something that the Panthers really need, especially with Virginia Tech's playing strategies. You know, Lindsay was talking to the coach just a couple days ago, and so he offered her a lot of insight. The team has been practicing and preparing for the strategies that they're anticipating from the Virginia Tech Hokies, like the 10-man ride that Lindsay was talking about. So this is going to be really interesting to see how some of these early freshmen onto the team, as this is their, I believe, 4th game, or their 5th game, excuse me, here. You know, they've lost 3 of them. They've won 1. And so, you know, the morale of the team, as we said, I said just a couple minutes ago, is really high, and so seeing this translate onto the field is going to be really exciting when the game starts in just a few minutes.
I agree with you, Ryan. And having such a young team is, you know, definitely has its strengths and weaknesses for Chapman right now. Because having such a young team, it's great to have these, you know, fresh perspectives, strong new strategies that Chapman's implementing that other opponents may not be used to. But at the same time, you know, working with such a new team, it's a bit of a challenge to not have those veteran players that they used to. And, you know, with Dante DeColobus, he was speaking about how one of his main goals for this season is proving to be a team player and really trying to be a great role model for some of the young freshmen on this team. And I think that's so incredible because, you know, it's a bit of a struggle to kind of get that cohesion, get that, you know, great camaraderie with the new freshmen, but it seems that so far Chapman's really working on their strategies and trying their best to prove to be a strong wall against teams like Virginia Tech.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely a demonstration and going to really showcase the Panthers' leadership, not only the coaches, but again, Dante DeColobus and some of those other more seasoned or more tenured players over on the team. So it's going to be really interesting to see how their leadership translates. They're definitely really well researched. Again, they know what they're anticipating from the Virginia Tech Hokies, so it's going to be really great to go ahead and see how that all winds up.
I totally agree with you, Ryan. And one thing that's really important to this Chapman men's lacrosse team is fundraising, because unfortunately, you know, Chapman men's lacrosse is part of the men's club lacrosse association. So they're not an official D3 sport with Chapman. So this means that they have to do all of their fundraising on their own and do not get any funds from Chapman University. So it's all on the players and the team itself to get all of their own equipment, uniforms, and everything. So we have this QR code here to scan and to please donate to this team.
Yeah, if you're able to make a monetary donation, scan the QR code as Lindsay was talking about. It really does help all of our Lacrosse Panthers help towards the future in their athletic journeys and really helps to support the team. So if you're an avid lacrosse supporter, family, consider donating for the QR code you just saw a little bit ago.
Exactly. These Chapman Panthers are really, it's really important to, make these kinds of donations and things if possible, just because, having a team like this that is so skilled is really so incredible because they're not an official D3 sport with Chapman. So it's really just so remarkable that, they're playing at a D1 level with only being a club sport. So, this team is one of our stars at Chapman.
Oh, definitely. This is definitely one of the teams to watch. Men's lacrosse here is always really exciting. It's a really great reflection of the support they have. Even if it's not monetary donations, they definitely do still have a lot of morale around them here on campus and a lot of support from fellow other students inside of the classroom and out and throughout campus. So it's really great in that sense. And really tonight this afternoon actually, we're going to see how this kind of comes off and goes to play. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all of their support translates to their performance later in just a few minutes, again, like we were talking about. But yeah.
100%. I agree with you, Ryan. We see here in the stands today, you were speaking about those high spirits and that high team morale. Right now, just looking around the stands, we can see there's so many support from all the friends and family of those on the Chapman lacrosse team. And right now, we're starting off with the face-off. Number 7 running around right now. All right, we're getting started quick. Cody Shevelson with the face-off. All right, running back in. All right, and ball in the hands of number 22 right now, Jack Worth. And back to Holden Walker. All right, strong defense already we're seeing from the Hokies.
For sure. Oh, and there we go, our first goal from, I believe, number 8. He's going to be...
that was number 0, Holden Walker right now. That was incredible. Shot already in the first few moments of this game. Folks, we're less than 40 seconds into this game and already 1 point on the board for the Chapman Panthers. Players like Walker are truly incredible on this team. All right, another face-off right here. Back to Shevelson. All right, and Chapman has the ball.
There we go.
All right, and balls come back in. And back in the hands of number 22, Jack Worth. From Holden to Vomand. Vomand has been such a star player on this team this season. Oh. Right out of bounds there.
There we go, turnover.
All right, and 42. All right, from Luke Morissette to Worth to Walker. Walker working an X right now.
For sure, definitely. Chapman's starting out really strong right over here in the first half. Oh, there we go. You can see some of the unique things about lacrosse, similar to hockey, is that players can go behind the goal, and you can see that they're using that definitely to their advantage right over here as number 21 scoops up the ball. And we'll see how this plays out going over to number 22 now.
The dynamic between Worth and Vomand has been really strong just in the first few moments of this game so far already. And, of course, those shot attempts by Walker. Oh, and it's getting pretty aggressive down there. All right, and now we're seeing real possession is in the hands of the Hokies for the first time so far this game. All right, and some substitutions being made here. Walker stepped out. All right, great passing right now from the Hokies. Verrier and Dixon working.
All right,
oh,
so,
great shot attempt
there we
right
go.
there, and a goal for the Virginia Tech Hokies, making it 1-1 in this game so far.
Yeah, definitely some really great defense and offense from both the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Chapman Panthers. We also want to talk about someone that's really worth noting. He's going to be, his name is Rex. He's one of the cheerleaders that he's here on the sideline. So he's really interesting. He has a really big, avid supporter, of lacrosse here at Chapman. So just want to kind of go ahead and shout him out. He has some great, as I said, he keeps up with the games quite a lot. So just want to go ahead and talk about him just a little bit in that sense.
And back in the hands of the Panthers on offense right now. And Dante DeColobus is starting out with the ball right now. Some aggressive stick work from the Hokies.
All right, there we go. Dante passing it to number 5. Aggressive stick work, as you were talking about. Another example of Dante's leadership, seeing how this is going to play out a little bit later into the game. There he goes, catching the ball one more time and then making a successful pass. We're seeing some really great passes as they go ahead and rush first.
All right, and now the ball's back in the hands of number 5 right now.
Some strong offensive play.
There we go. It's great to see how the Panthers have really been in possession of the ball, really been dominating that clock right now so far in this game. All right, lots of motion. All right, those Adam McDonald with the ball right there, and shot attempt.
Yeah, Adam McDonald, one of the attackers, really key attacker for Chapman. He's a broadcast journalism major here and a sophomore, so he's been on the lacrosse team for just one more season before this one. Definitely an important player on today's team in attacking the opposing team, in this case, the Hokies. So he's also going to be an interesting player to watch.
I agree 100%. And, we know Adam closely, great guy, so it's so fun to see, good friends on the team being such star players like Adam McDonald. All right, and now we have some great passing from the Hokies again. It's interesting, the Hokies seem to be utilizing the X far more. All right, now ball's out of bounds. Getting it back in.
All right, and there we go. One of the top players, number 42, Alex Ashley. He's that senior from Ashburn, Virginia, and that all-conference midfielder. So one of those players we told you to watch out for. He's definitely having a strong impression here in the first quarter as we have just about 10 minutes left.
I totally agree with you, Ryan. All right, and already, I feel like Worth and Vomond have been so great at having those great connections so far in this game, so that's just been great to see. There we go, back in the hands of Worth. The middies have really been, as they like to call it, the swamp has been working really hard in this game so far, just in these first few moments.
There we go, number 44, who just took that shot and passed it along. And then we see number 42 just scooped it up, part of the Chapman Panthers. That is
Luke Morissette, also known as Maz fondly by his teammates. Oh my God, an incredible steal right there. All right, oh my God, running with such force for the Hokies, and a missed shot attempt, but still close enough. I feel like, the Hokies have really been putting in that energy and really, as the Panthers have been dominating the clock, they've still been bringing that energy.
Oh, for sure. This is, again, going to be a really great example of the Chapman's defensive play and that goalie, as we were talking about with some of the strategies, from the Virginia Hokies. So this is definitely showing some really strong defense as we have that attempted shot that ended up being a miss again. So you can see him passing it over number 23 to number 31 a little bit later. So this is some great now offensive play as the Chapman tries to go ahead and hopefully score a goal. They have a lot of clock time, still maintaining that in a sense. You can see some really wide passing and some great teamwork and camaraderie there. Oh, there we go.
All right, and back in the hands of the Panthers. Or not. And ground ball right there.
There we go. Number 44, Dante DeColobus. So, yeah, number 44, Dante DeColobus, that key player we were talking about a little bit earlier today with the ball earlier.
Passing now in the hands of number 5, Rocco Reginelli, sophomore from Los Gatos, California. All right, now back in 34 and 5. Seabury and Reginelli, the second line midfielders, making good connections right now.
For sure, Chapman's making some very widespread passes in order to gain some more traction into rushing those goals. You can see them passing over back to Dante again. They definitely do have a lot of teamwork and camaraderie that we're seeing again today. It's
flag flying high in the air right there. All right, and Dante to Morissette. Oh, yeah, another flag right there with that aggressive block from the defenseman right there. Yeah, Hokies, you know, with Chapman playing so strongly so far, I feel like the Hokies have really been putting the heat on their defensive strategies.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Chapman has definitely shown some very strong offensive play in that sense, definitely pressuring the Hokies. You're seeing a lot of teamwork here among the Chapman as they make multiple really great widespread passes in that sense. So that's definitely helping move the game along very fast pace so far. And so, you know, having their gameplay, as we were talking about how they were a young team, this is definitely going to be a very interesting and important thing to watch is how we talked about there are 13 freshmen here on the team, and Virginia Tech has that has that number of strategies, and so it's really interesting to see right now how these 13 freshmen here on the team are responding to that and using this teamwork. We talked a little bit in the beginning about how dynamic the team is, a reflection again of the coach's leadership in recruiting these 13 freshmen. Again, Ryan Shugart, that main goalie here, he's currently a freshman here, originally from Winston-Salem, Oregon. So again, this is just a really great demonstration of how the two teams have been adapting to each other's performance, seeing how, again, Chapman has played half as many games as the Hokies have. So, you know, not only are they a little bit newer in terms of the standings of the freshmen, but yeah, and then we're going to go ahead and show you a replay from a little bit earlier in the game.
100%. We see that incredible shot made within the first 40. We saw one shot made within the first 40 seconds of the game by Holden Walker. And it's just interesting to see how, you know, they were really putting up the points with, you know, each team getting a shot within, I think, the first 2 minutes of this game. But, you know, right now we're already about halfway through this quarter. So, you know, we haven't seen many more points come up since then, but it's great to see that these teams really put up a point early to show that they're playing fast, they're playing aggressive. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this quarter plays out. And we're seeing, yeah, lots of support in the stands right now. I love it. And now we're setting up back on the field after that timeout. All right,
And
Dante starting off with the ball.
Once again, those wide passes again. Definitely seems to be one of those kind of signature playing strategies that they've been using quite a bit as they have some strong offensive play trying to make their second goal here in the first quarter.
100%.
The ball's now in the hands of the Virginia Hokies, number 15. Now doing a really big pass. We can see
that was
some
an incredible pass.
Oh, yeah. There we go, back in the hands of the Panthers.
It seems that the second the Virginia Tech Hokies get the ball down to their side, nope, Panthers are swooping it right back over.
Exactly. They've had some impressive gameplay so far, really strong. Again, the morale of the team seems to be translating really great. Again, I was talking to Adam McDonald. He's one of the attackers. There we go. Second shot here by the Chapman Panthers from Jack Worth. He's a senior from Boulder, Colorado. He's 6'2". In the 2023 season, he had 7 goals and 1 assist. Last season, 18 goals. And so far this season, he's had 3 goals and 5 assists. So another key scorer here on the Chapman Panthers as they lead the Hokies 2-1.
Incredible shot by Jack Worth right there. And, you know, it's great to see those middies coming up the field and, you know, not just leaving it in the hands of the attackers to be putting those points up on the board. It's great when the middies can come up and put those points on the board themselves. So that's the great team playing we like to see back in the hands of Chap. All right, number 22 with the ball right there.
Yeah, 22 is Jack Worth again, or 23.
Sorry about that. That was Shigart. Bringing it to the goalie. Interesting work in the backfield right now from the Panthers. All right, coming downfield. Back in the hands of the Hokies. yeah, it's just we haven't seen too many great, too many big dynamic moves from the Hokies so far as Chapman's been in possession for the ball for most of the game.
Right. Well, they seem to just now have picked it up a little bit. So it's something interesting to watch out for. Chapman seems to have some strong defense. Again, we're watching that goalie right over there. He's number 23. That's freshman Ryan Sugar. Ben gave us a little bit more context about him and why he's important a little bit earlier in today's broadcast if he joined us for the pregame section of our show. But there you go. That ball went out of bounds. I believe back in the hands of Chapman, passing number 21 to number 17. You can see those really widespread passes once again. Really strong sign of really good cooperation amongst the rest of the team.
Agreed. And now number 2, Elijah Brueggemann has the ball, passing it to number 5, Rocco Reginelli. The second line midfielders are really putting up the points right now, really having great communication and strategies between them. All right, working in the X right now from Dante. Dante's really camping out in the X, and I think that's what's such a great strategy for the Panthers, is staying back there. Number 42, Luke Marcette right now.
Yeah, Luke Marcette, the senior computer science major from Portland, Oregon, here part of the starting lineup here at Chapman. He's made 2 goals already this season, so definitely another player that is quite important. You can see those widespread passes once again as they go ahead and make some offensive plays to go ahead and hopefully score some more goals against the Hokies. What they're trying to go ahead and do, like we said, right now they are at the bottom of the SLC standing, so this is really Chapman's opportunity to take home another win. SLC is that Southwestern Lacrosse Conference, and the Virginia Tech Hokies play in the ALC, so a little bit different, but this is Chapman's chance to go ahead and get some more wins in that sense to improve their standings, as I said before.
This is truly incredible, folks. We saw it there once again. The second the ball gets right down to the Virginia Tech Hokies, Panthers scoop it up and bring it right back over to try and score for themselves. And right now we're seeing, all right, Luke Morissette with the ball, passing it to Brueggemann. Running back to DeColobus in the X, swooping around. Can he find anyone? Can he connect? And yes, he can too. Oh,
there we go.
Incredible shot right there from number 5, Rocco Reginelli. Reginelli's been putting up great points so far this season as well. He's had, oh my God, last season he had 11 goals and 9 assists. This season, 4 goals so far right there, now making it number 5.
Yeah, the sophomore, originally from California native, has been a really strong player and scorer for the Chapman Panthers as they take the lead 3-1 here with just under 4 more minutes in the first quarter.
Great camaraderie from the Panthers. We see it on the sidelines. We just saw, and there it is again, that shot up right now. Look at that. Reginelli finding his friends, finding his team. Look at that camaraderie. It's so beautiful to see. And now we're starting off with another face-off. Will it go to Shevelson? We shall see. And it's in the hand of the Panthers.
There we go.
Shevelson has really been killing this face-off. He has such a great percentage so far this season with, 32-37 before this game is his face-off wins, losses. He's really been so great as a Fogo. All right, now in the hands of the Hokies. All right, number 48 right there for the Hokies, Lucas Verrier. Verrier's been, both Verrier and Dixon, I feel like, have been making such great connections in those moments that they've been able to have close to the Chapman goal.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely, not only is that teamwork that we were talking about working and for the Panthers, there's also a lot of teamwork and camaraderie along the Virginia Tech Hokies. So I'm really glad that you pointed that out because this is something that we're seeing from both sides. Again, I really want to talk about that flexibility and the adaptability of both teams. It's really impressive for that sense. Oh, and you see a steal from number 2 as from the Virginia Tech Hokies back in the hands of them as they try to go ahead. You can see a shot attempt that was missed.
Yeah, 100% right there we saw, as we've been seeing it again, the Panthers were able to swoop it right up in their hands, but right there, that incredible steal from Virginia Tech right there, that was truly incredible from number 2, Christian Edwards on the defense. Players like that, I feel like, are really great to see that kind of aggression in this game because that's needed when, Chapman's in possession for most of this game.
Oh, for sure, yeah. This is also as the game approaches this side of the field where Chapman takes the defensive side. Again, we want to watch number 23, that goalie over there. He's going to be a really key player in defending that goal. You can see he's become that main goalie. A display of freshman leadership again into Chapman's young team. One of the storylines we've been trying to convey to you a little bit today because it really is important and shows how in some way, the Virginia Tech Hokies could seem a little bit intimidating, but it looks like that they're coming off really strong. In fact, Chapman has had a really strong presence and really strong gameplay. You can see that really strong defensive plays and offensive plays. I mean, you know, they have 3 goals already, so they seem to be adapting really well to the Virginia Tech's gameplay strategy and really strong and bold moves there. Again, another widespread pass as we've been seeing as they go ahead and try to eventually score a goal. We'll take a look at what's going on right here in just a minute. There we go.
All right, and there we go. Great passing between the players. That's what I feel like has been one of their strongest points is their passing abilities. And ball goes out of bounds right there for the Hokies. And in the hands of Chapman right there. All right. Moving up the field. We have Nico Orsino with the ball right now. And passing, all right, to number 12.
Yeah.
All right, ball moving upfield. I feel like Panthers, yeah, they're really trying to put in that utilization of taking up the clock, taking their time, you know, moving with ease. That's what's been their best strategy in this game. And now we have Walker passing to Morissette. Morissette running up. All right, will he find someone? Let's see. All right, connecting back to Walker, and a block shot attempt, and it's in. Number 5 right there, another one for Reginelli, his 2nd of the day, making 6 goals so far this season for Reginelli.
Yeah, Rocco Reginelli, he's that, once again, California native. We told you earlier that he had 11 goals so far last season, 4 goals this season so far. That was before this game started. He's definitely been a really key player again as you see him score that goal. He's from Los Gatos, California, currently a sophomore, so he has 1 more season ahead of him in experience.
Let's go, Rocco! An unstoppable force in this game so far. And now we have a face-off. One of the few that's gone to the Hokies. Or not. Now Chapman won it. Shovelson passing. Working in the backfield, but the way that face-off went.
Yeah, Shovelson, the undeclared sophomore here at Chapman. He's a face-off specialist initially from Berkeley, California. His face-off wins to losses is 32-37, so definitely a really strong player when it comes to face-offs for the Chapman Panthers as they go ahead and try to go ahead and make a goal, but now turning over the ball to the Hokies as they try to make some gains. You can see some defensive action from the Chapman Panthers as the ball goes out of bounds.
All right, that was some aggressive defense from the Panthers right there. You could see how, you know, those 2 defensemen were really on the Hokies, and that led to some, yeah, it looks like some talks between the refs on what exactly is going on there. Oh, and yeah, that was a foul right there for him. That was some striking right there. Yeah, that was pretty intense right there. Yeah, it was some pretty, look at this right here from the Panthers. Oh my gosh. Panthers, yeah, they're not messing around in this game. Wow, that was 22 right there. Jack Worth, who's been such a great player in this game, but yeah, he's not messing around.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Jack Worth, he's a senior, so this is his 4th season here playing for the Panthers. Boulder, Colorado, he's had 5 assists this season and so far 3 goals. So definitely he's one of the first-line midfielders here for Chapman. So really great player in that sense as we see gameplay continue with the Hokies having the ball, making those widespread passes once more. Another sign of camaraderie and teamwork again, as the ball then again goes out of bounds and ends up with Nico Orsino, number 17. He's going to be a midfielder for Chapman. He's a short stick midfielder, actually. He's a junior communications major from Washington. He's made 3, before this game, he's made 3 goals so far this season. So definitely really important.
All right, and the shot clock is running down in this quarter, and we've reached the end of the first quarter. So, you know, looking at what we've seen so far, Ryan, this has been an incredible game for the Panthers. And, you know, it's interesting with, you know, even though Virginia's played far more games than Chapman has, they've had similar records, and the Panthers are really making sure they're bringing that heat. They've been really defending against that 10-man ride, which, you know, Panthers have been in possession of the ball for most of this game so far. So what do you think have been the best strategies that Chapman's used so far with this game ended up being 4-1 right now?
Oh, for sure. I think, you know, Chapman definitely has some really great defensive plays whenever the goals try to, or whenever the gameplay goes towards it. We can see number 23 and the rest of the defenders for Chapman really having some strong defensive action. We can also see a little bit more of how Lacrosse can get a little bit hostile and physical. And so that's another example of the nature of the game in that sense as well. And so it's really great to see this, how this, you know, kind of plays out. We've seen that Chapman is not really that intimidated, it doesn't appear, by the Virginia Tech Hokies. They seem very comfortable and very strong with their gameplay. This is another example of that kind of leadership that they're having. Once again, they've prepared for this. You interviewed the lacrosse coach a little bit earlier again, so you can see a lot of how this kind of points out, but you can see some of the replays from earlier in the quarter here on your screen right over here. Again, some of that camaraderie. There we go, some strong offensive action right over there. One of the flags was pulled. 2 flags were pulled earlier just in the first quarter as well. That's another thing that we want to also point out. So Chapman definitely has been quite aggressive with their gameplay, and the Virginia Tech Hokies seem to be adapting towards it, you know, as they've played twice as many games, but, you know, Chapman has really stayed strong in that sense. So they've really it doesn't appear that they've played only 4 games before this. So, you know, Chapman is definitely making some really great gains in the sense as they lead the Hokies 4-1.
I agree, and someone we can't ignore talking about is Rocco Reginelli. His amazing offensive strategies have been so great this game. And, you know, he's a midfielder, but has really been making those connections in the goal. Like, we've noticed how he's been able to really assert himself in these situations in the goal, have that great team playing and passing skills with his team. Rocco Reginelli is definitely going to be one to watch this game so far.
Yeah, Rocco Reginelli, again, he's one of those people that you really want to watch out for because he has the minds and the strategy and really the kind of expertise in that sense for this game over here. So it's definitely, you know, strategy and research is something that has played a lot into the preparation for these 2 games. You know, the Virginia Tech Hokies are, you know, again, adapting really well. They seem familiar with the gameplay as a flag is drawn. There you can see the referee over on your screen.
Yeah, we're starting the game back up here, and now his stands are really filling up right now. We're seeing, you know, that great support from many players, and especially Rex Weil right now. He always is, you know, the #1 cheerleader for Chapman men's lacrosse, and we're seeing that great camaraderie even in the stands. And yeah, right now there's some discussion with the refs and the Hokies as to what exactly is going on in their goal.
Yeah, for sure. And then just talking about Rex again, you'll see him in the home bleachers over, I believe, in the blue hat, if I'm not mistaken. So he's one of those really large cheerleaders. He supports the men's lacrosse game, lacrosse games, plural, a really good amount of time. Lindsay was able to speak to him and talk about some of his advice, and has really talked to him and his passion for the team. So he definitely is one of, again, we were talking earlier about how supporting the Panthers, even though they're a club team, isn't always monetary. Having support like, there we go, and we have another score by the Panthers. You can see that kind of celebration right over there on your screen.
Incredible shot from number 44, Dante Nikolovis. First shot for this game so far from him. And, you know, he is, you know, our biggest one to watch going into this game. And, yeah, he's just incredible right there with his first shot of the game.
Yeah, Dante, he was, right now he's a junior. He's played from Chapman since he was a freshman. In fact, on his freshman year, during his freshman year, he was the 2023 Freshman of the Year and a scholar athlete. So performing well on the field and in the classroom right over there. He made 35 goals scored last season, and so far this season before this game, he's made 7 goals so far. Originally from San Clemente. He's a junior, as I've said just a little bit ago. Business administration major, as we see a face-off between Chapman and the Hokies right over there.
All right, and in the hands of Chapman, excuse me, the Hokies right now.
Cody Shevelson was that person leading the shake-off for the Panthers. He was that kind of specialist for them, if you will. He's that sophomore undeclared major, like I said, from Berkeley, California. He has that impressive record again of 32-37 for face-off wins to loses. So he's definitely a really key player. We've seen him quite a bit whenever a face-off has happened right over here. You can see number 42 over for the Virginia Tech Hokies. I believe he was one of our top players, if I'm not mistaken. That is going to be Alex Ashley. He's that senior from Ashburn, Virginia. He was that all-conference midfielder, so still a very important player. As you've seen, there's a number of really good leadership and passing as they make those widespread passes again into of rushing or attempting to score a goal eventually against the Chapman Panthers. We'll see that goalie. He's number 23. That's that freshman goalie here on the Panthers, Ryan Shugart.
Incredible shot for the Hokies right there. They're really trying to bring in that power right now. And I think that was number 41. Let's see this shot right here. It was number 41, Kyle Dixon. Midfield right here from Huntington Station, New York. And, you know, Dixon and Verrier, those have been some of the strongest players for the Hokies. And Dixon, look at that. With that aggression right now, it looks like the Hokies really made some different strategic talks in that huddle, and whatever it is working so far. Oh, an incredible aggressive face-off, and now to the Panthers. All right. Picking it up.
In the hands of Nico Orsino before passing it to 44, Dante DeColibus, that veteran lacrosse player that we've been talking about with that freshman leadership, passing it to number 22, and then again to player number 0. As they go ahead and take the offensive side, and there we go, they begin to move in, getting a little bit more aggressive with their plays, again to 42 and back to 0. So this is definitely becoming really interesting to watch as they attempt to hopefully make their 6th goal, as they're already leading the Hokies. Again, this is the second quarter. We have just short of 13 minutes left, so plenty of time for the Hokies to get back into the lead as well. This doesn't mean that Chapman's, you know, well off already yet, but this is just something to watch. As we see, you know, lacrosse is a very fast-moving game. You can see Dante DeColibus there again behind the goal. He just made a pass right over there to number 42, and then there we go. Some strong goalie action from the Virginia Tech Hokies. Some good defensive play.
All right. Now picking it up for the Hokies. All right, look at that speed right there from number 8. Look at them moving with such aggression and speed. We love it for the Hokies. All right.
Passing it over again. You know, we've seen this a lot with Chapman a little bit towards the beginning of the game, and those long-range passes. It definitely shows how the team is really coordinated with each other. A great sign of that. That shows that they definitely have their head in the game. So there's no question about that at all as they attempt to make a score. Now the ball goes out of bounds. It will be Chapman's now, I believe. So this is something really interesting to go ahead and watch.
All right, and it's in the hands of the Hokies still right now. Number 29 passing it right there to 48. Verrier and Dixon, those are our players this game. Oh my gosh. All right, and went right off the hands of number 12. Yeah, whatever they talked about in that huddle is working so far.
Yeah.
That possession that was really in the hands of Chapman has now switched to be in the hands of the Hokies.
Yeah, again, Kyle Dixon, number 41. He's that senior, so definitely pretty well experienced from New York, the state of New York. And in the 2023 season, he had 8 goals and 2 assists. So far this season, before this game, he's had 9 goals and 1 assist. So definitely a very key player, as you'll see him quite a bit throughout today's game as well. You can see Alec Ashley is now being substituted for number 40.
All right, and back in the sticks of those Panthers. All right, making it move downfield here. Oh, and a steal. Oh, my God, from the Hokies. All right, passing it back up. Didn't even get crossed past the midfield line. That was number 24, Patrick Droney, that stole it right there on the defense for the Hokies. All right, moving it up. Will he find his guy? There we go.
All right, Alex Ashley taking the ball and attempting to score a point. Ball goes out of bounds, though. So again, Alex Ashley, he's that very important midfielder for the Hokies, so you definitely see them kind of go ahead and using him to their advantage, which is something that's really great for the team as they do take kind of the end. It's 2-5 right now on the scoreboard as we have just over 10 more minutes of this quarter as well. So definitely see some really strong, impressive gameplay from both sides of the game here.
100%, Ryan, and we're seeing great hustle from both of these teams right here. Look at number 17 for the Panthers, trying to rush it down.
Nico Orsino.
Yeah, Nico Orsino is our guy right now in the midfield. Look at that speed. He's running so fast. His football experience is really helping him out. Oh, and there's a stick on the ground. All right, back in the hands of Reginelli. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, you see.
All right, looking for his guys. Let's see. Who is he going to connect with? All right, and in the hands of Brueggemann. Back to Reginelli. All right, now in the stick of number 34 right here. That's Patrick Seabury. And Seabury's running up. All right, pass to 44, Dante, in the X right here. Now back to Reginelli. Reginelli, yeah, really is in control of the ball here. And he's pushing up against that tough defenseman. Oh,
there we go.
Shot
Ball goes out of
attempt.
bounds.
Tried his best right there.
Yeah, we've definitely been seeing some really strong gameplay from both of these teams. We've been seeing a lot of action from those top players that we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Again, there we go. Again, strong playing, both defensive and offense, both from the Hokies and the Chapman Panthers. So the Chapman Panthers are performing exceptionally well. Again, and there we go, a score for the Chapman Panthers. It's now 2-6.
Number 5, Rocco Reginelli for his third shot of the game. Rocco is unstoppable. Look at him go, just so happy. Look, he's running to the guys on his sideline that are so happy to support him. Look at this. This is Reginelli's game. This is truly remarkable, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen already some strong gameplay. We were talking about his strategy a little bit earlier in the game. So not only is he a really great scorer, but he really knows the minds of lacrosse. As you said, this is really his game. And this is turning out to be a really exciting and positive game for the Chapman Panthers as we see this face-off start off right over here to see who takes control of the ball. Let's see who that it is for the Panthers. We know that they use their kind of face-off specialist or that kind of dedicated person for face-offs quite a bit.
That was a crazy tough face-off. That was
yeah,
an interesting
it's in the hands of the Panthers. Number 33, Adam McDonald. He's an attacker for the Chapman Panthers. He's that sophomore broadcast journalism major who I spoke to a little bit ago. He gave me some insight on the team about how they're feeling heading into today's game. They said that even though that they've lost quite a number of times, that they're doing quite well now.
All right, back to Worth and Velman. And right now back to Walker, back to those original players, the starting lineup in the first line midfield. All right, let's see. Oh, and a big bounce right there up in the X. Adam scooping it up. All right, bringing it back.
All right, we're going to bring in Ben Sherman. He's our sideline reporter. He has some more insight from us. Hi, Ben.
Thanks, guys. Obviously a slower than expected start down here for both teams, but an interesting note to pick up on for Chapman. 5 out of their 6 total goals have been scored by midfielders. We're used to seeing those attackers leading the charge, but those midfielders are really good, so you got to keep an eye on those. Those defensive midfielders, they're scoring all the goals and doing the heavy lifting for Chapman as we go on. Keep an eye on the Chapman Panthers there. Lindsay, Ryan.
And yeah, definitely those midfielders are definitely someone to go ahead and look and watch out for making those goals, which is really great. That's why we talked about some of those key players a little bit earlier ago, like Alex Ashley, some of that midfielder. He was that all-conference midfielder over for the Virginia Tech Hokies. So thanks for that insight, Ben. Really something to look out for as a flag is drawn by the referees.
Yeah, it was a pretty big, it looked like some great, tough aggression from the Hokies on Luke Morissette. So yeah, now... yeah, picking it up from there. Yeah, I feel like, men's lacrosse is such an intense game.
Oh,
for,
sure.
only being in a helmet, I feel like, it's really intense game, lots of aggression, pushing on the field. So, it's really hard to use those skills to your best ability and keep it, in the rules of the game. So now we're getting it back to Luke Morissette in the X right here. Setting it up from Dante to Seabury. All right, Rocco creating a great little, connection here around the
kind
goal.
of forming a triangle, a strategy, and there we go.
Great shot attempt.
Score.
All right, great shot attempt from, that was number, 33, Seabury right over there. But, unfortunately did not go in the goal. Now, Reginelli picking it up from the sidelines. And back to Morissette. Seabury to Voman. To Reginelli. They're really creating a great little network here around the goal, trying to confuse that defense. Great.
There we go.
And it slipped in the goal.
There we go.
Wow.
Definitely the Hokies might be a little bit upset at that one, as that seemed to be a little bit of when the goalie was down. He didn't seem to be expecting that coming. It wasn't that intense of a goal, as you can see. But now the Chapman Panthers are taking the lead 7-2. Excuse me. So you can see a replay of that shot right over there. You kind of get a better angle about it as gameplay continues in just a moment with this face-off right over here. We'll see, I believe this is Cody Shevelson, that sophomore, again from Berkeley. Has really impressive. He's been able to secure the ball for Chapman. That's not Shevelson, excuse me. That's number 3. I'll go ahead.
That was an insane shot right there. It was Bowman that was able to get it right in the goal, slipped in just right past that Hokies goalie and made it in. Now back to the Hokies. Running up field with that aggression. And that's number 6, Jack Wingfield, bringing it in.
Another really long pass. Again, seeing that teamwork, especially as they try to ramp up their gameplay as they, have a score difference of 5. And so, we're about to wrap up the second quarter. We have just over 6.5 minutes of gameplay here. So this is definitely something really interesting to watch here unfold. Chapman has been starting off strong. Perhaps they will be moving up through the standings in that sense. So this is definitely looking to be a really great game for the Panthers, but let's not celebrate too yet. They do still have 2 more quarters to go. Just a more second half of the game, more than an hour of gameplay later. As again, a flag is drawn.
I totally agree with you, Ryan. And a 5-point lead this early in the game for a men's lacrosse game at this level, I feel like really says something. This is a hard deficit to come back from, so it's going to be very exciting to see what Virginia Tech can really pull in their strategies in the rest of this game.
Oh, yeah, and then how the Panthers respond to those strategies is also something we've been talking about a lot. Seeing how flexible these leaders here on the team can, and some of the coaches on what they have to say. And so this is going to be really important to see if Chapman can maintain to Virginia Tech's adaptability and flexibility. How does Chapman respond to that? We'll continue to see. So far, they seem to be responding quite well. This doesn't seem to be an easy game for either side. There's been some really great gameplay. As you see, there was a shot attempt made. What didn't quite make the goal, as you can see there. But there you go, in the hands of the Virginia Tech Hokies at the moment.
All right, I agree, yes. Great gameplay. All right, and back to the Hokies. All right, number 4 right now, Jake Blybaum. And we have to 41, Kyle Dixon, one of our 2 incredible middies. Yeah, as Ben was saying earlier, this has been a game of the mids. They have been killing it so far. And, as Chapman likes to call it, the swamp. That's what they call their group of middies. And they're really the ones putting up the points in this game so far.
For sure, yeah. Watching those midfielders definitely is really important. You can see one of those middies just try to score a goal right now and didn't quite make it in, but it's another good attempt as they try to reclaim the lead, or claim the lead for the first time, in fact, in that sense. So this is definitely something interesting to watch out for as gameplay continues behind the goal. Passing it to number 41 again, and we have Nico Orsino on the defending the goal, and number 23, that freshman Ryan Sugar, defending that goal again. He's definitely one of those very strong freshmen that we've been talking about. We're seeing some excellent defense from him as they go ahead and rush the goal. You see right over there as they try to gain a little bit of room right in front of the goal. They didn't make a whole lot of passes, which is something interesting to observe. When Chapman scored their last goal, they had a lot of different long-range passes from different team members again. And so now it looks like they seem to be passing less. You can see that kind of short stick midfielder. And then as the Chapman Panthers, let's see what the referee
looks like a shot clock violation right there. That was incredible. Just look at that. the way that the Hokies were passing to one another, it was great that, really kept it in their hands, but it does look like a shot clock violation that happened right there. Just held on to that ball a little too long without making any moves.
For sure, yeah. Shot clock violation, I believe the first one of the game so far. And so this is something that's quite interesting. We've seen the Hokies get pretty close to attempting to make a goal in that sense. But you see, we have a replay of this moment, actually. You can go ahead and take a look on your screen when they tried to go ahead and make a goal. And then you can see it's now in the hands of 31, or it was in the hands of 31, before they drew that shot clock violation right before. So this is just moments before that happened. Going back out live, you can see some shots here of the player as Chapman has a 5-point lead with just under 5 more minutes of gameplay in the second quarter, heading into halftime.
Yeah, just a quick timeout right now. I feel like, it's just been so interesting how the Hokies have really been able to, claim that possession of the ball that they weren't able to in this first quarter of the game. So it's great to see that, while the Panthers have still been dynamic with, a lead right now of 7-2 against them, it's just very interesting how while not that many more points have been put up on the board, the Hokies have really been trying to implement the Panthers' strategies and use that time to, put more aggression into the goal. So, Brian, what do you think the Hokies could do to really try to get more points on the board and, use more of the strategies the Panthers have?
Yeah, I definitely think that kind of adapting to the Panthers' pretty intense gameplay is going to be something that's going to help them a whole lot as we head into the second half of the game real soon. Still have to wrap up that second quarter in just a bit. But like I said, that's something that I believe that can really help them. While we're here on these kind of huddles, this timeout real quick, I want to point out the two groups here. You can see the coaches talking to the group over on the left, and then the group on the right, we seem to be talked to by one of those top players that we were talking about, Dante DeColibus. So again, this is an example in real time of his leadership. You can see him talking to a number of players over there on a group over on the right, and then there was also a group on the left being talked to by the coaches during halftime, while the Hokies just had one big group with the coaches talking. So this is definitely an example of leadership, and I definitely think this leadership on the field is definitely helping Chapman have a successful game so far, I would say.
I agree. That's a great point you made, Ryan, because Coach Callis shared that he loves to have a player-led team, so that's great to see. DeColibus is stepping up to that plate just like he would like. And now it's back in the hands of the Panthers, making those great passes. Number 4, Anthony Mills with that pass to number 10 right here, Shandon Hanamoto. Lots of defenders with the ball. Oh, and a flying stick right there. Oh, my God.
A midfielder, number 22.
All right, and number 31. All right, Pandis running up over there. All right, and now in the hands of the Hokies.
Yeah, again, we want to also look out for never mind.
All right, Verrier and Ashley making those connections. All right, back to 29.
Again, some passing again as they hope to go ahead and have some good offensive play towards the Chapman Panthers. Oh, see, number 23, that's Ryan Stuggart, one of those freshman leaders here on the team, defending the goal from a score by Virginia Tech. So this is something that's wonderful news for the Panthers, another sense of that strong leadership. Looks like these goalies, that goalie who's Lindsay talked about has transitioned to being their more full-time goalie, is performing quite well today. As we see our midfielders go ahead and take on offensive play to hopefully score against the Hokies right now. As we see number 22, this is going to be Jack Worth. He's that senior business administration major from Boulder, Colorado. He's had 3 goals so far this season with 5 assists. So definitely, as Ben said, a game of the middies as he passes to number 42, one of our other key players here in the game that we're watching out for. He has the ball once more. Let's see if he's going to try to make a score attempt. Instead, he passes.
Worth has got the ball over here to Volman. Volman's moving quick. Who's he going to go to? Let's see. All right, moving across that hard defenders, and a great save right there from the Hokies goalie. And scooping up the ball. All right, and back in the hands of the Hokies.
Some
moving
good defensive
upfield.
play.
All right, moving fast right there. Oh, and right off the stick of number 9, and back to the Hokies.
Oh, okay, there we go. Back in the hands of the Chapman Panthers. Doesn't seem that the Hokies are quite happy about that. We have quite a bit of engagement here in the stands as they go in and attempt another, or it seems like they'll be attempting another shot as
we are coming into a timeout right now. Yeah, it looks like, you know, I feel like a lot of times in men's lacrosse games when you're picking up the heat on both sides right there, like the way the Panthers were able to just steal that ball right there, you know, you got to freeze them, got to ice them out. So that was, you know, great decision to call a timeout right there, you know. So they're really coming to a point right now where both teams are bringing up the heat. It's getting quite intense right now. And so taking this time right now is going to be important to really discuss those strategies. Looks like we're having some different meetings between, you know, attacks and Ds. Like, it's really good to have a good mix of both. And so, like you were saying earlier, look like Ryan Shugart, who's fondly called Shugs by his team and, you know, by the teammates, he has really been great as creating this defensive wall and not letting anything get in from Virginia Tech. So, you know, like we were talking about earlier, that backbone of the defense has been proving to be so strong for us in this game so far.
Of course, yeah, Ryan Shugs, so to say, is definitely performing quite well. He is the backbone of the defense so far. We've seen him save the goal a number of times, so that's something that's really great. In that sense as well, we can see there's these team huddles kind of continue as well. As we're currently here in a timeout. Rex, that cheerleader that we talked about a little bit ago, is still here cheering on the Chapman Panthers. Again, we want to highlight him as he's really some really important support for the Panthers. And so the support that they have is just phenomenal, as we've been seeing from today's gameplay, as gameplay looks to resume in just a few moments.
Exactly, Ryan. And we see number 6, Jack Wingfield on the defense has walked off from the Virginia Tech Hokies. So we're waiting to see if possible injury there, because he has been, a great player on this team so far, a great team player, helping out with lots of plays. So we're going to be watching intently and waiting for injury reports to see anything about him right now. All right, yeah, we're starting back up in the play.
Great observation. Chapman has the ball, 22, that midfielder that we were talking about a little bit ago, Jack Worth. And there we go. We have some passing again. Going back to 0 and then back again to Jack Worth.
Right. And now ball is back in the hands of Worth right now.
Going back and forth.
To Vomand. All right, Vomand running up. Vomand has been, an incredible player and getting points on the board in games past. But, this game he's been more of a team player, helping out with assists. But, and got tripped up right there. Oh, yeah, and a flag flies high for sure. Number 42, Luke Morissette, unfortunately, it looks like he's been a victim of several aggressive fouls in this game. Just some slashing and, overly aggressive defensive moves. Virginia Tech is not happy about this, about their deficit right now. So I think they're trying to be aggressive to make up for that.
Yeah, Luke Morissette that you were talking about from Portland, Oregon. He's made 2 goals already this season preceding this game. So definitely someone else that has been quite active in scoring goals for the Panthers. So he's another person that's going to be really interesting to go ahead and watch as we go ahead and see the results of this flag and what plays out in just a moment. We can see number 13 joins the Hokies on the field as well as the game of the middies, as our sideline reporter Ben Sherman called it, continues.
Exactly, the game of the middies. That's what's been one of the most important things in this game so far right now. And all right, we're waiting for the gameplay to resume right now. Yeah, it's these aggressive fouls after aggressive fouls, just coming back from those. It's, both these teams are going to have to recompose themselves to really get their heads back in the game right now. And now we have, both Vomand and Worth, the dynamic duo of this game so far for the Panthers.
Yeah, they seem to be having some really great team play or teamwork, right over now as they go back to back. 33 has the ball right now. And then back to the midfielder, Jack Worth, to number 5, back to number 42.
All right, and now we see Morissette bringing it to DeColobus.
We'll see number 21. There's Vomand that we were talking about just a little bit ago.
Yeah, and then we see, all right, bringing it around right now. Great passing. Oh, and that was number 42, Luke Morissette, with his first on the board this game. Incredible, just sneaking it right around the goal. That's, you know, one of Luke Morissette's favorite things to do in his technicalities of the game. So that was an incredible shot for him right there. Look at that shot. Let's see it again right there.
Yeah.
Luke Morissette bringing it in, bringing it to be right now 8-2 for the Panthers up on top.
Yeah, the Luke Morissette now has 3 goals this season. The senior, who's already played for the Chapman in the past, he's number 42 again. He now is now part of one of those scorers for today's game. So definitely, we have a face-off happening right over here. You can see it's in the hands of the Hokies as they go ahead and make some passes.
Bringing it upfield right now. Oh, that is number 6 right now. We saw him walk off earlier, thought it could be an injury, but Jack Wingfield's looking to be all right and continuing to be a great player for these Hokies here today. Happy to see he's doing all right. And now we're bringing it back downfield to the Panthers. Let's see what they can do. All right, and we see, right now, another timeout right now as the shot clock winds down. We're looking at 38 seconds left right now. So, yeah, I think it's just, you know, both of these teams are really bringing in the heat in these last few moments of the second quarter here, Ryan. So it's, you know, I feel like they're just trying to ice each other out and try to compose themselves, especially when, when things are getting intense in a game like this. You know, all of these really aggressive fouls, like all this slashing and everything is coming into play. So what do you think these teams can do to prevent against having those kinds of aggressive fouls?
I think, honestly, I really, like I said, adapting to it, anticipating some of the moves. We've already talked about how Chapman anticipates that 10-man line that we talked about here in the beginning. And I think the kind of anticipation of these teams to expect similar play or to expect normal or something that is on brand for that team is definitely going to help them in the long run to kind of catch it in the beginning before they have to respond to it. So kind of being proactive in their thought process behind going up at the game could help them quite a bit. As the timeout continues right over here. Looks like looking at it just by some of the shots you see in those players here on your screen, looks like the Panthers are in high spirits right now. Seems to be an excellent game from them so far as they lead the Hokies 8-2.
100%.
6-point lead with just more than 30 seconds here on the clock in the second quarter leading into halftime.
All right, now we're winding back up to get ready for this gameplay here today. The last few moments of this quarter, want to make them strong, end on a great note here, and see if any more points can be put on before this first half comes to an end here. All right, and now we're in the hands of Brueggemann to number 12 right now. All right, oh, great defense from the Hokies. Putting it up, and DeColobus is running with the ball into the X. Brueggemann is running around the goal. Oh, off the stick of number 12 for the Panthers right there. Reginelli running for the ball.
Now number 5 has the ball from the Hokies as they go ahead and make some good passes. Oh, there we go. We see some action, and there's a missed. Oh, okay, a good shot followed by a missed shot. You can see some celebration erupting as Virginia Tech, I believe, has 3 goals now. Yes, that's correct. That player that made that winning shot is going to be, we're currently finding it right now, it's going to be Ty Smith. He is, or excuse me, Tanner Snow. He is the attacker junior from the Hokies as well. So definitely someone who's made a key player as they shorten the gap between Chapman, who's currently leading. So again, this is becoming really good. We did see a little bit less defensive players while they try to make the goal from the Chapman Panthers, if that makes sense, if you ever see another shot of it again a little bit later. But definitely that kind of less players have definitely contributed towards that fact as we head into halftime just right about now.
That was an incredible first half of this game for the Chapman Panthers and the Virginia Tech Hokies. So, you know, this really has been an interesting game, Ryan, so far because, you know, we've been seeing how Virginia Tech coming into this game had far more games played. You know, a lot of their top players have had many more goals and assists under their belt, but look at this today, folks. Right now we're seeing how the Chapman Panthers are leading right now 8-2, which is absolutely remarkable so far in, the kind of stats they've been putting up this season. So we're seeing lots of promise and confidence in these Panthers so far.
Yeah, it just goes to show that just because the Virginia Tech Hokies did play twice as many games as Chapman did doesn't necessarily mean or guarantee that they'll be performing better. And so we've seen that today. And then again, we were talking about the age of the team a little bit in today's pre-show and throughout the first half. We talked about how there are 13 freshmen. Those 13 freshmen seem to be performing quite well, it's safe to say. So Chapman definitely is performing astronomically well. They're hopefully going to be turning around their standing and improving in the SLC conference. But now we're going to go ahead and toss it to our sideline reporter, Benjamin Sherman. He'll have some more information down at the field. Hey, Ben.
Thanks, guys. So I talked about him before, but let's talk about him again. Number 23, Ryan Sugar, in goal for the Panthers. 6 total saves on the day so far, really slowing down that Virginia Tech offense. An offense that is particularly hot in second quarters, has coming into today, scored a third of all of their goals on the season in the second quarter. But keep an eye on them as we go through the back half of this game. They are not a strong second half team, particularly in the fourth quarter. Only 16% of their total goals coming into today were in the second quarter. Or in the fourth quarter, my bad. So keep an eye on them as we get later into this game. Chapman might have a big opportunity to put their foot on the gas and never look back. Lindsay, Ryan, back up to you guys.
Great stats, Ben. Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. And yeah, also like Ben, you were saying earlier, it's just so interesting the breakdown of, the different positions of players that have been putting points up on the board. Normally we see most of that coming from our attackers and players, more on the offensive side. But it's interesting, a lot of our defensive midfielders have been putting up those points, especially we cannot ignore number 5, Rocco Reginelli, just really proving to be an incredible force so far in this game. And it's really going to be exciting to see what he can do in the second half.
Yeah, you've seen Rocco a number of times throughout the game. He's definitely been a really good strategist for the Panthers. He's been one of those team leaders, as the coach was telling you just about a little bit ago, of having that kind of team leadership and student-driven team. So we see a lot of that playing out today here. And so it's really great to have those examples. What's going to be interesting to see how Rocco continues to perform afterwards. This is just the first half. We still have a whole nother of half. But the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network will be right now. We're about to have a break in just a few moments.
Thank you for watching. the Virginia Tech Hokies. Once again, I'm Lindsay Johnson here with the wonderful Ryan Kaiser, and this has been such an interesting game so far. Very different from what we expected coming into this, but it's been so incredible to watch for the Chapman Panthers. We've seen so many incredible players like Dante DeColobus, who we've had our eyes on since the start of this game, and Rocco Reginelli, one of those amazing midfielders that's been stepping up to the plate so far in this game. So it's going to be so great to see for the rest of this game here, Ryan.
Of course, yeah. We were speaking of some other key players. We were talking about Ryan Shugart, who was also, we saw him practicing during halftime while the rest of the team rested. So a cool kind of observation that we noticed up here in the press box. So it's interesting to see if they'll continue to have him as goalie and to continue to see how he'll perform for the rest of the game. If that is the case, he's going to be number 23. We'll see him a little bit later in the broadcast, I'm sure. But like I said, he was practicing earlier while the rest of the team kind of chilled, took a little bit of a break. They've been playing very aggressively and very intensely. So that's something that we've been seeing a lot of, and it's really great. Like I said, he's that freshman. He's been showing some really great leadership. This whole team has been having some really great leadership, from the coaches to the students to some of our seniors. We talked about Dante DeColobus a little bit earlier, and how the coach likes to have a very student-led team. We'll jump back into the gameplay right now as the Panthers take the ball.
100%. All right, and back in the hands of number 22 right now, Jack Worth.
He's that midfielder again.
Exactly.
From
I
Colorado.
feel like, yeah, Worth and Vomond have been an incredible duo in the first line of this midfield. And look at that amazing communication and passing strategies that they have. The two of them have just been a dynamic duo and have been killing it in this game. Now pushing over to number 33, Patrick Seabury. Back to Morissette. All right. Now in the hands of Reginelli. Back to Seabury in the X. All right. Is Vomond going to go for it?
See Josh Vomond, he's that senior applied human physiology major here at Chapman. Or number 22 is Jack Worth. But just before that, number 21 is Vomond. They seem to be a very dynamic duo, passing very often to each other. Their relationship here during gameplay has been something integral. Jack Worth now has the ball. You can see he's under some pressure from number 47 from the Hoker.
All right, and now back to Morissette. All right, in the hands right now of Dante DeColobus, running up. Back in the X to Morissette. Oh my God, incredible save from the Hokies right there. That was such a great shot attempt from Morissette, but it just seemed to go right in the net of the Hokies goalie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that goalie, he's had some really strong defensive play in that sense. That's a save. So really great, because the Chapman would have increased their lead. The gap between the lead, excuse me, is getting smaller and smaller as Virginia Tech now has 3 and Chapman 8. Chapman's been in the lead since the beginning of the game. So if this changes, we're going to keep our eye out really sharply. We'll see very soon if this changes. It definitely has the possibility to. We do have another hour or half hour, excuse me, of gameplay, as we just have just short of 13 minutes here in the third quarter, and then we just have a whole fourth quarter just a little bit later. But we have some impressive teamwork here, as we see again some strong defense from number 23, that freshman goalie who was practicing at halftime. That's Ryan Shuggs, as we talked about, referred to him a little bit earlier ago. Yeah.
He has been killing it in this game. Look at those defensive strategies that he was pulling in right there. Shuggs has been killing it in this game. All right, and now we're seeing the ball has just gone out of bounds right now, bringing it back in for the Panthers right here. All right, starting it off. Let's see who's going to have the ball right now. Okay, 41-29 for the Hokies. All right. Bringing it in right now, running in with lots of force is number 42, Alex Ashley, or, one of our top players that we've been talking about since the beginning of this game.
Yeah, he's that all-conference midfielder from last season. So he's definitely, we've seen him quite a number of times. He's that senior, so he has quite a bit of experience behind him, Alex Ashley. And, he's been playing from 2023. And that season, he had 7 goals and 3 assists. And then just last season, he doubled the amount of goals to 14 and 5 assists. Definitely, as he goes ahead and makes a goal. That was from Alex Ashley, again, number 42 again, as they go ahead and, make the the margin between the scores a little bit smaller. So now we have 4-8. Virginia Tech is behind but catching up again. They could totally take the lead a little bit later. But now looking at this replay again, taking a look at what that looks like. There you go. You can kind of see what that looks like right over here on your screen as we replay this shot. An amazing shot. You can tell the Hokies are definitely really excited about this as Chapman kind of prepares more for some more intense gameplay from them.
These Hokies are dialing up the heat right now, starting off this third quarter. All right, and bringing in the face-off. Who is it going to go to? All right, and the whistle has been blown. Looks like, yeah, there was some pretty big aggression right there.
Yeah, for Chapman on that face-off was Cody Shevelson. He's that sophomore that we were talking about from Berkeley. He's, again, bringing up his record from wins to loses for face-offs. It's 32-37, so very strong asset for the Panthers. He's a sophomore, like I said, so he's already played one season here at Chapman.
Back in the hands of Ashley right now. Ashley ringing it downfield. All right, bringing it over in the X, and a long pass right there to Verrier. Yeah, these three midfielders, yeah, it's the game of the midfielders, really. You know, we've seen a bit from Jake Blybaum, but, you know, a lot of the attacks on Virginia Tech have really been kind of sitting in the wings right now, bringing up the focus on the midfielders who have been the ones really putting in the points right now. Yeah, number 5 right now ringing it in for Trevor Stocks. There's one of our attackers. All right, and a change of possession. Going back to Chapman right now. We have Bowman running up.
Yeah, Bowman and, let's see, 23.
Oh, long pass right down
that's
upfield
stolen.
to Rocco Reginelli. Oh, and it's in the hands of the Hokies. Tried to get it to Reginelli to bring it in, but unfortunately that was
looks
not
like
completed.
A failed pass that has gone now out of bounds. It's going to be Chapman's ball now, number 44. That's, Dante DeColobus.
Oh, and Dante DeColobus!
It makes another goal. Now Chapman is taking a little bit farther of a lead while one of the players is down.
Dante DeColobus with an incredible shot right there, right around the goal. But yeah, unfortunately, one of our players on the Hokies is down, but Dante bringing in a great score right there, his second goal for this game so far.
Exactly. He's definitely been a really strong player throughout today's game. Perhaps this moment might indicate a little bit of aggressive, but this is going to be interesting. We'll check in on this player a little bit later throughout the broadcast to see if this is something interesting. That's number 15 from the Hokies. We'll go ahead and try to find out that information in just a moment. But for now, see you have an amazing sign of teamwork and camaraderie here as they clap as he gets back on his feet again to go ahead and walk off the field.
Yeah, that's really proven. You know, this has just been an aggressive game so far. And so, yeah, it's just unfortunately, you know, things like this are bound to happen in an aggressive game. But, yeah, seeing the great camaraderie from both teams right now giving support. So it's great to see, you know, how that camaraderie translates into, you know, situations like this. So, yeah, now number 15 for the Hokies now is walking 15, off the field.
It's Andrew Wickham. He is a senior. He's from Media, Pennsylvania. He had 163 saves last season, and he was a 2024 Lacrosse Specialties Player of the Month. So potentially a loss for the Hokies, having him leave the field for just a few moments. We'll see how long it lasts, if he re-enters, or if this is serious or not. But that's some contextualization to who's been walking off the field. He seems to be in good spirits as he steps off.
Exactly. All right, and we're seeing some motion right now. You know, coach is a little bit upset on the Virginia Tech side, but still, yeah, happy with these last 2 points scored just in the first 5 minutes of this quarter.
Oh.
And great moves right now from the Hokies and into the hands of the Panthers. All right now running up the field.
That was 17, Nico Orsino, also a football player here
up to
at Chapman.
16 right now at the Chapman Panthers. All right, and
Going
back. Oh my God, it's
22.
Worth and Voman. Those have been our players of this game so far. And Reginelli with the ball. Back to Walker. Oh, great defense. All right, Walker running it in. Working back in the X right now. Some cheers and support from the sidelines right now from his team. Definitely. Holden's got to get the ball passed soon.
See some axe of force from the Hokies. As he passes it to number 2 and then back to number 22, Jack Worth, one of those impressive midfielders for the Panthers, as he hands it to his friend, Josh Voman, number 21, that senior STEM major with 3 assists and 9 goals this season so far.
All right, and now back. Oh, great shot attempt right there from number 5, Rocco Reginelli. But, yeah, unfortunately did not make it in there.
The Hokies will now have possession of the ball.
All right. Bringing it downfield right now. Yeah, that was some crazy aggression right there. Walker could not get that guy off of him from the Hokies. Now passing it downfield. All right, number 4 on the Hokies trying to decide where to go. That's Jake Blybaum, one of the attackers that's been really stepping up to be a strong player in this game. And all right, from Blybaum over here, over to 42, Alex Ashley. All right, and ball's running right out of bounds right there. Hokies got to scoop that up. And, you know, the rules of lacrosse, it's, you know, whoever's closest to the ball gets possession, which is unlike the rules of many other sports. So it's interesting to see how that kind of plays into this game here.
Interesting, as they take the offensive play, the Hokies, and we'll see how the performance of Ryan Shuggs kind of shapes up right now. You can see the Hokies have, again, possession of the ball after it goes out of bounds. Lindsay just talked about how it's pretty unique for lacrosse in that sense as well. Ryan,
and Chapman Panthers just scooped up the ball right there, running upfield. Oh, great. Oh, okay, saving it right there for the Panthers. Oh, my God, once again, Josh Vomans. And now it's back to the Hokies.
Definitely some really strong gameplay heading into this third quarter right over here with just more than 7.5 minutes here on the clock left. So this is definitely some really intense gameplay. The two teams are definitely ramping things up against each other and having some more aggressive tactics, gameplay. They seem to understand themselves a little bit better. Something that is an interesting observation is they know, and there we go.
A score right there for the Hokies. That was an incredible shot right there. Oh my God, just snuck it right in the goal. And yeah, Ryan Shugart, you know, he's still been an incredible defenseman in this game, but look at the Hokies with the newfound aggression I feel like they've got in the second half of the game. Already 3 points up on the board in this third quarter, whereas Chapman's put up none so far in this third quarter. So look at them go. The Hokies have been so strong in this third quarter so far.
Of course, yeah, and number 15, that goalie that stepped off just a little bit ago, is back in the game, so we'll see that similar amount of defense that we've been seeing already throughout the game today, so definitely excited as we have a face-off. Number 7, he's that face-off specialist, as we'll call him, or that, yeah, face-off specialist, that is his title here at Chapman. He gets substituted in each face-off, so he's definitely a really great asset. He's from Berkeley, California. He has a face-off wins to losses stat of 32-37.
All right, now number 48 with the ball right now for Virginia. That's Lucas Verrier, our guy right now. All right, scooping it back over. All right, bringing it in. Great pass. Oh, and the ball slipped back in the sticks of the Hokies. All right, number 44 right now with the ball for Virginia Tech. All right, bringing it in, 48-44. Oh, great aggression with the sticks. All right, and back to Chapman. That's what we like to see. It's those steals that I feel like make this game of lacrosse so exciting. Oh, and great pass right there from number 31. Oh, to 33, Patrick Seabury. And to 44, Dante, the man of the game.
Yeah, let's see what he does with the ball. He's that really leader and 22, that superstar midfielder, passing it a little bit more along, and then back to 21. That's Voten. So those are two midfielders, 21 and 22, from the Chapman side to watch as we continue to see some excellent gameplay from them. And back to Dante, that team leader.
Seabury. That's been, you know, this kind of working around the goal. That's been what's been so important for this game so far. And now we have Walker bringing it in. Oh, great shot attempt right there from Bowman, but unfortunately it did not make it in. Tekolibus bringing it back in the game.
With some pressure from the Hokies.
Getting hit with the sticks right there. Wow. All right, Walker. What's he going to do? Where's he going to go? Walker with that speed and aggression right there. And over to Bowman. Oh, great score right there from Bowman. Right there. He's, oh my God.
Bowman's that senior applied human physiology major here at Chapman. Definitely brings a lot of experience and expertise to the team, originally from Texas. He went to Monte Vista High School. He has, this season, before today's game, he had nine goals and 3 assists, so definitely adding to that. Panthers seem quite happy about this. Of course they're happy. They continue their lead against the Hokies as Chapman leads 9-5, so 4 points of them into the lead. As our third quarter is about 2/3 of the way done. We have just over 5 minutes left. Plenty of time for the Hokies.
Face off right now in the hands of the Panthers, winning that. All right, into Dante. Dante getting lots of heat from the defense right now.
Getting heat, but
trying to
performing
swoop
well.
around the crease. Ooh. And a flag is flying high right now for the Panthers. It's like really challenging to keep those flags, trying to keep in that fine line, because you want to have aggression in the game of lacrosse, but unfortunately, it's really easy to slash, unintentionally and everything when you're trying to use those sticks to, use that power and use that aggression on the defense.
Of course, yeah. Also, speaking of those sticks, that's one of the great advantages of lacrosse is those long sticks and short sticks. Gives different players of different positions different versatility, as you can see towards the game. Definitely you see them employed a number of times in offensive and defensive play. But yeah, we're going to toss it over to Ben Sherman. He's our sideline reporter. He has some insight to give us right now. Hey, Ben.
Guys, I have an injury update down here from the Chapman side. We're looking at Chapman, senior attacker number 42, Luke Morissette. Looks to be out for the rest of the game with a shoulder injury. He spent most of this third quarter with the trainer getting an ice pack taped to his shoulder, his left shoulder. It's unclear if he's going to return. Looking like a no on that front. Obviously, he scored a goal back in the second quarter for the Panthers. A big loss on the attacking front. We'll see how the Panthers can make up for that as we go along. Guys?
Thanks for providing that insight for us. So 42 again, Luke Morissette. He's out for the rest of the game. Definitely has been a really great asset to the Panthers, but the Panthers, we're sure, will continue to perform well past this. Thanks for that update, Ben.
Exactly, and we saw earlier that Morissette looked to be the victim of many aggressive slashing attempts and things like that from the Hokies. So, yeah, unfortunately, I feel like it's not a surprise that he got this shoulder injury because, yeah, he was just the front force of so many aggressive moves from the Hokies. So, yeah, hope he improves and gets better for games in the future. All right, and now back to the Panthers right now. Looks like Reginelli's moving with the ball.
Right,
and over 22 right now. Jack Worth.
Back to Dante.
In the X. All right, and a great score right now. Second for Holden Walker. Look at that speed, and it would just look easy for Walker right there. His second of the game, killing it in this game so far.
Yeah, Holden Walker, that midfielder sophomore of business from Broomfield, Colorado. Last season he had 14 goals and 4 assists, so definitely a really high scorer historically in the past, and continuing to improve his performance later in today's game as well. So again, that was a score by Holden Walker. Now Chapman leads with twice as many points as Virginia Tech, now 10-5.
Exactly, and after that incredible score from Walker, let's start off right now in this new face-off. All right, and the ball went just booming out of bounds right there. And now back over to the Hokies. All right, number 5 right now, running it in. That's Trevor Stocks. It's a great attacker. All right, back to 42. Yeah, the middies of both teams have been just such great forces in this game so far, so it's great to see what else they can do. Like right here, Alex Ashley, who we've been having our eye on. And all right, passing it to 12 right now, Aiden O'Sullivan. Oh, O'Sullivan running down.
Oh, and another score.
And just crept it in the goal right there. Oh, my God. That was number 29 on the Hokies, who's been, honestly, Dylan Lang. He has been such a great force right now. And, you know, he wasn't on the starting lineups, but has been coming into this game with such great speed, such aggression. And so Dylan Lang is first on the board for this game so far. Killing it, creeping in that deficit.
Yeah, the sophomore from Maryland, Dylan Lang, as we said, he had 8 goals and 1 assist so far this season, so continuing his high performance again. So one of those East Coast people. Again, the Hokies traveled 2,000 miles to be here. They did get here on Thursday, so doesn't appear that they seem any way affected by the travel so far. They have really high performance right now as we have a face-off. Right now, we'll see who gets control of the ball. It's going to be number 7. That number 7 is that face-off specialist that we've been talking about for the Panthers. It's Cody Shevelson, that sophomore. His face-off wins to losses is 32-37. The Panthers have
Cody got the ball right there.
There we go.
Go, Cody. All right, and now it's back to the Hokies, though. Oh, my. Those incredible steals that we've been seeing from the Hokies all game is what has been such a great force for them and such great technique that they've been able to use. That was number 40 with that steal right there, Ryan Gaffney. All right. I can hear Rex chirping from all the way up here in the booth. We love this cheerleading, love this incredible spirit on the Chapman Panthers side right now.
Yes, Rex is one person of a very passionate crowd in today's game. Definitely a very well-engaged crowd. High-spirited game, I'd like to call it.
Oh,
and a goal
Alex Ashley.
There we go.
Incredible shot right there for him.
Exactly. One of our key players, Alex Ashley. Again, he is that midfielder senior from Ashburn, Virginia. He is that 2024 all-conference midfield. So he's a very strong player in his position. I know we've talked about it a little bit, but Ben earlier called it the game of the middies, and this just goes to prove it a little bit more. So it really shows how key having good midfielders are, and Alex Ashley continues to prove that in today's game.
100%. Alex Ashley with one of his first points in this game so far. Just killing it right now. Those middies on both teams and back in the face-off. Yeah. All right, will it go to Chapman? Let's see, and it's in the hands of Virginia Tech. Bringing it up, trying to get in that goal with ease and efficiency right now. Oh, and a missed little attempt. Oh, and the Panthers were able to scoop it up right there. That was incredible work right there. Now back to Dante DeColabis, looking around, trying to find who he can connect to get it in the goal as soon as possible right now. Oh, my. The Panthers are killing it in this game.
Yeah, Dante passing it a little bit, or not a little bit. He is passing it to go ahead, number 12. More camaraderie here that we've been seeing here on the team as they take the offensive side.
All right, and Sebru right now running it up. All right. And Rocco Reginelli, our score maker of the game right now. All right, he's looking who he can pass to, and it's over right now. And the X with Dante. Is he going to sneak it in around? And he didn't. He passed to Rocco again. Oh, it went right off the stick of number 12 right now. Oh, and the Hokies stole it away. Cradling right there. And, oh, missed shot attempt right there from the Hokies.
Some pressure again on Ryan Shuggs as he defends his goal for Chapman. Chapman's lead has been shortened by the latest goal by the Hokies. It's now 7-10. Chapman in the lead. Let's see how Ryan performs under this pressure. In just a moment as they see to make some gains towards potentially scoring.
Oh, and a big pass right there that's out of bounds for the Hokies. All right, got to bring it back in and try to get that shot in the goal as soon as possible as this third quarter is coming to a close very shortly. All right, number 5 running it down. And back in the hands of Alex Ashley.
Yeah, Alex Ashley, one of those top players that we talked about towards the beginning of today's broadcast. East Coast native. He's a senior midfielder, so he's has a lot of experience. Again, you can see he's been quite involved in offensive play and also in defensive play as well. So, you know, Alex Ashley continues to prove himself as one of our top players for the Virginia Tech Hokies. This is a really great show on Virginia's side of really team leadership in that sense. We've talked about it from Chapman a lot because, you know, they have a really interesting dynamic Chapman has, but Virginia also has that really interesting dynamic that we can see also having their own.
Oh, this is some crazy aggression right now in stealing the ball. Oh my God, it's back in the hands of the Chapman Panthers right now. All right, and can they keep possession is the question. DeColobus is scrambling to keep a hold on the ball, and it is now out of bounds, back in the hands of the Hokies. That was incredible work from DeColobus, trying to keep it in his hands, but unfortunately could not get it. And now number 3 right now has it, and to 4. Oh, Panthers are on him, and a flag goes flying high. Things were looking pretty aggressive right there, but game keeps playing. And the buzzer is out. So now that is the close of the third quarter. What an incredible third quarter that has been. We have seen, you know, at the end of that first half, it was dialing up what we've been seeing from both of these teams. But in this third quarter, it's just been move after move, steal after steal. And so, you know, largest deficit we had this game, got to be 10-5 at one point, but the Virginia Tech Hokies are proving themselves so far.
Of course, yeah. The Virginia Tech Hokies are hoping to get a little bit more. They just need 4 more points to take the lead, and we just have 15 more minutes of gameplay after this. So kind of going into some of the top plays of this quarter, you can go ahead and see on your screen what that looks like. A number of really good and considerable moments right over there. Don't you think, Lindsay?
I agree with you, Ryan. And one thing that's important to note, as we're coming to the end of this third quarter, we're going right into the fourth, is that, you know, in the past, Chapman has really been able to be strong contenders and play very well against their opponents. However, we've seen in games previous, fourth quarter is where the Chapman Panthers kind of struggle the most. As we saw last weekend against BYU, where they played in Vegas. They were really strong contenders in most of that game, but ended up losing when it came to that fourth quarter, and things started to get hard. They lost in a 16-7 deficit. But so right now, this is where this game is going to be incredibly important, to keep that consistency like they have been keeping. Bring that fire over and over is what's going to be important in the last few moments of this game, to not have the, you know, patterns that we've been seeing in the season so far.
For sure, maintaining that energy in the fourth quarter. You were talking about BYU. They did, again, lose to BYU. It was 7-16 in that game. I believe you said it was like last weekend. And so that's definitely one of the things to look out for. It's about to unfold just in front of us in just a few moments. It's beginning to unfold, actually. So let's see how they perform.
All right, back in the hands of the Hokies. Alex Ashley with the ball right now. Passing it over to Dixon. And is that a score right there? Yes, it is. Ryan Shigart, unfortunately, could not defend against that one. Look at this, folks, right here. Virginia Tech is bringing the heat right now.
They are. Like I said, they only needed 4 more in order to maintain the lead and win today's game. They just got one of them right now with literally 13 seconds on the clock. So they're performing really well. This is really a show of how they want to continue to stay in the game here, like they said, or like we said a little bit earlier. So this is something that's really great. Now, heading into a face-off, let's look at number 7. That's Cody, who we talked about. He's our face-off specialist for the Chapman Panthers. Cody He's that sophomore student who Chapman really likes to include on those face-offs. Unfortunately, though, the Hokies have the ball.
Hokies.
Yes.
Yeah, these face-offs have been pretty aggressive so far, so it's great to see, you know, this kind of tough matchup. But yeah, right now, look at this power the Hokies are showing. Chapman, it's going to be a struggle for them to defend against them, but it's going to be a great fight. Now we have 48 with the ball right now, taking his time, just walking around leisurely. There we go, found number 42 on the connect. All right, these midfielders are the strong force of this game, and now we see Nico Orsino grabbing the ball from out of bounds, bringing it to come back to the Panthers. All right, passing it right there to 31.
Number 22 is entering the field. That is who we've been talking about a little bit on those superstar midfielders. Let me pull it
Some
up. Excuse us.
substitutions we have right
Yes,
now.
Lacrosse is a game of a lot of substitutions. Number 22 is going to be, excuse me, as we find out, Jack Worth. He's, that senior business administration major from Colorado. He's made a number of goals today, and he's had really great sportsmanship and a really good relationship, dynamic duo, if you'll call it, with Josh Vomant, another midfielder. And so he's now entered the field. We'll see if performance changes, increases, gets worse now that he's on the playing field.
All right, back over to 41 right here for the Virginia Tech. Running upfield. Oh, and just went right off the side of the goal. Did not make it in there for Virginia.
Yeah, again, another sign that Virginia is stepping it up.
100%. I mean, they need to. We're now in a 2-point deficit starting off the fourth quarter of this game. Virginia's got to be bringing this heat. And right there, they just scored. Oh, my God. Number 5, Trevor Stocks, the attack. His first score of the game. What an incredible force. That little creep around the goal is what I feel like takes a lot of skill, but really is what's able to surprise your defense and get them in.
Right, yeah. Trevor Stocks, he's that senior from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He had 15 goals last season, and so far he's had 10 goals this season. So definitely a well-performing player. He just got that goal. We're now at 9-10, so or 10-9. Chapman is currently in the lead right at the moment. Now the Hokies only need 2 more goals in order to see. Let's see how the Panthers.
Back to the Panthers. Dante DeColobus with the ball right now.
Yep, Dante showing some more leadership towards the team. Let's see if that leadership continues to carry over in the fourth quarter and see if this energy continues.
And over to 22 right now, Voman.
Voman is joining the
Excuse
field.
me, Jack Worth. All right,
or Jack Worth, you're so right.
To 21, Voman, there he is. All right, we knew he'd be there. And to Walker, to Voman, to Worth. All right, DeColobus finding his connections. And to Reginelli. All right, so Panthers are going to try their best to get as many points as they can right now with, the game coming to a close. They've got to put their best efforts forward with, Virginia Tech only behind by 1. And there goes Walker. Oh, great, little surprise pass. These pass skills are incredible right now from these Panthers. Walker to DeColobus in the X. All right, finding his guys. Great defense from the Hokies right now. Searching. Where can he go?
Ooh.
Oh, he tried to score it himself, but unfortunately could not make it. Now it's out.
Again, a very passionate crowd here. Really signs of high spirits. Lots of support. We still have Rex here in the stands. Definitely, he looks to be in a good mood. And so if you're here in the crowd or watching later, he's the guy with the blue hat. So definitely really passionate. He could be a whole commentator himself sometime. But Rex definitely is definitely an avid supporter of lacrosse. Along the rest of the team as well, we can hear a really involved crowd here supporting the Chapman Panthers and the Hokies. Support from both teams demonstrated this afternoon.
All right, and now the Hokies are closing in right now. Ashley finding his guy in the X right now.
Yeah, Alex Ashley that.
That was Stocks just bringing in the ball, and now to 41, trying to close it in, close this gap and tie it up with the Panthers. That's what the Hokies are trying to do right now with 11 minutes left on the clock of this game. All right, moving fast. All right. Back to number 5. All right. And searching for his guys. How can he get it in the goal right now? Oh, my God. Another point on the board for Virginia Tech Hokies, now tying it up 10-10 with the Panthers. What an incredible comeback in this game right now, Ryan.
Oh, of course. Yeah, now we're here in a tie. We still have more than 10 minutes, just under 11 minutes on the clock. So the Virginia Tech Hokies really could go ahead and take the lead, or Chapman can go ahead and take the lead. We've talked about that fourth quarter fatigue, we'll call it. If the fourth quarter fatigue continues for Chapman, then it's possible that the Hokies could win. But if Chapman maintains the energy they've had in the first 3 quarters, then Chapman could take the win. So this is a very contentious game right now. Neither team is playing. We'll see who gets the ball right here in the face-off.
Folks, what a nail-biter this is. If you're just tuning in right now, this is going to be an incredible matchup for the last 10 minutes of this game right now between the Panthers and the Hokies. All right, we have number 3 right now running down the field for the Panthers, trying to pass it off to Reginelli. All right, perfect. We got Adam McDonald scooping up the ball right here. And over to 20 and to 17, Ursino. Back to DeColabus. DeColabus running in with force, trying to find who he can connect to. All right, passes back over to Brueggemann. Brueggemann taking his time, trying to soak up that shot clock. All right, and it's over to the hands of Seabury. Oh, great catch right there from the Panthers right there. Holden Walker to Brueggemann. Oh, and of course, DeColabus in the X, his favorite spot to hang out. Back over to Seabury, to Walker. Oh, and great shot attempt, but right in the net of the Virginia Tech Hokies goalie.
Yeah, 15 defending quite well. That's the injury that we had a little bit ago earlier in the game on this second half. He's back here a little bit. His name again is going to be Steven Jackson. He's from Orangevale, or excuse me, that's the wrong roster, but is still number 15. It is that goalie. He is back in the game, as we were talking about just minutes ago.
All right. Now we have the Hokies bringing it in right now. All right, leaving it for the Panthers to pick up. How kind. All right. And number 10 for the Panthers, bringing it downfield. Back to DeColabus, of course.
Yeah, putting more pressure on number 15. That is Andrew Wickham. He is from Media, Pennsylvania. He had 163 saves last season. He's a senior, opposed to Chapman's goalie, who's a freshman. So seeing how both goalies respond to pressure, as we've seen throughout today's game, has been especially important. As Chapman takes the offensive side, we'll see how Wickham responds.
All right, bringing it in right now. All right, McDonald passing it over to number 12 for Chapman. All right, working in the X right now for number 12. That's Cutler. And DeColabus, where's he gonna go? And he tried to do it, but went right off the side of the goal right there. Now out of bounds. Bringing it back into McDonald. McDonald seeing where to go. Who to pass to in this exciting game right now. Still tied score of 10-10. All right. And Cutler running, trying to find someone to connect to. Right there, it's 33. McDonald made his best shot attempt, but
another out of bounds, though. Still in possession for the Panthers, though, as Dante DeColabus takes hold.
All right.
Takes possession.
DeColabus working from the X, coming around the crease. Can he make it in?
Taking some slashes.
Oh, tried his best. Now back to the Hokies. Got a defender working in right there. Running upfield. Now this is getting intense right now with the Panthers taking so much time, working so hard to put a point up on the board, but unfortunately not able to convert. But now ball back in possession of the Hokies. It's getting intense. Now number 42, Alex Ashley, back with the ball.
Yeah, one of those top players that we were talking about. Alex Ashley, he's that really all-star midfielder for this game, and really for last season and for this season so far. Alex Ashley continues to be a key player for the Hokies, and has great camaraderie. I believe that's him with it again. We'll see as he tries to make a shot attempt, doesn't quite make it, but the ball is still in the possession of the Hokies.
All right, working from the X right here. Both teams really utilizing working around the X and coming around the crease. That's where I feel like some of those most exciting goals have been scored, is when they creep right around the crease and make it in. And now back in the hands of Ashley. Can he make it in? And he does! Now it is 11-10. The Hokies are now in the lead for the first time in this game so far. Alex Ashley, that incredible midfielder with his third favorite score of the game.
Yeah, he's had really strong gameplay throughout today. You can see today on your screen of this replay, you can even see that kind of celebration, his reaction right over there. So really great for the Virginia Tech Hokies. In the first half, we kind of thought that, Chapman was taking the lead. He was strong. That fourth quarter fatigue does seem to possibly be playing out. Right here we have a face-off, but again, that leading shot was made by Alex Ashley, number 42 for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Well, this is incredible. The first lead for the Hokies so far this game has been brought in by Ashley. Oh, Ryan, I hope this fourth quarter fatigue isn't setting in for these Panthers. This is getting a little crazy.
They have time to wake back up, though. We do have over 6.5 minutes here in the fourth quarter to go ahead and wrap up the game. So we'll see if their strategy changes, if it improves. We'll have to find out. We can see that right now they're kind of rushing. We can see that it's passed to Adam McDonald, number 33, who passes it over to...
Back over here, we have Jack Worth bringing the ball over to Voman. That dynamic duo, as we've seen this whole game in the mid-line. All right. Voman coming in with power, trying to get it in, and unfortunately does not get it in that goal. Wow, the defense on the Hokies. Oh, the Hokies scooped up that ball from the out of bounds, which that was incredible.
Incredible indeed, drawing lots of reaction from the crowd. The vibes here, if you will, are very high. This is becoming a very contentious game. Everyone is watching this. All of these players, all of our all-star players that we've been talking about throughout the broadcast are definitely on the forefront of today's game. So it's definitely becoming a much more contentious game. And as we see those midfielders, Alex Ashley, number 42, who just had the ball. He's someone to watch for as the game we come to just more than 5.5 minutes left, as we see some defensive action from number 31.
Pretty intense defending right there from Chapman. Oh my God, that was interesting. Yeah, number 31 on the Panthers, Tyler Pandis, really with some tough defensive moves. All right, and now it looks like we're coming to a timeout right now, and I think that is what the Chapman Panthers need at this point. And one thing that's interesting is we're talking about this fourth quarter fatigue, and when speaking with Joel Callis, right now the Panthers are out of a defensive coordinator. They have a new offensive coordinator that they've been working with, Clay, a great guy, but right now Coach Joel Callis is having to step in as head coach and as defensive coordinator. And working with a collegiate team of any kind, it's really a challenge when you're needing to step into multiple roles like that. And so working with a very young defense and working with no defensive coordinator will be a struggle to keep up this game.
Yeah, it's another observation as we talk about fourth quarter fatigue and the kind of need to really come together as a team more than they already are is Chapman is still in two groups for this time out right now. Interesting, as there's perhaps not a centralized message right at the moment. Virginia Tech took hold of that technique. They're also now in two groups whenever they come to a huddle during timeout.
Right now, yeah, we see Clay right now, the offensive coordinator, speaking with the offensive group of the attackmen and some of the midfielders, and we see Coach Callis speaking with some of those defensive speaking with some of those defensive players with the Chapman team. So having those separate messages to get, I feel like, those necessary messages across is what's needed in this game right now.
Of course, definitely an interesting leadership strategy on the perspective you look at it from. So this is definitely an example of how the coaches of the men's lacrosse team here, both at Chapman and Virginia Tech, are pretty much shaping the team, their attitudes, and the morale as gameplay continues.
Exactly. All right, we're working right now for the Hokies. Can I get another one on the board? All right, number 4, Anthony Mills right now scooped up the ball for Chapman. And back over to number 10.
Ryan Shuggs briefly had the ball, that freshman goalie that Ben and the rest of us have talked about a number of times. So
great work right now from the Panthers all around. All right, bringing it in. Let's see. We have some substitutions right now as they're taking time.
Jack Worth, number 22, joins the field, that senior business major from Colorado. He has 3 goals and 5 assists this season. He's been a very strong midfielder throughout today's game. His friend, Josh Voman, that dynamic duo that we've been talking about, he just passed. Voman just passed Worth. Again, their relationship might be key to helping perhaps to score a goal and for, honestly, how this team plays offensively when they go to hopefully take the lead back again for them.
No doubt about it, Ryan. All right, and this dynamic duo is putting the pressure on the defense. Okay, can Holden Walker get it across? He passed it right now. Okay, and it's back in the hands of the Hokies. When you're moving in really close, having those quick passes, it's, you know, hard to keep it in possession of your own team. But right now we see the defense, Chapman's running up so fast to try to get them and stop this game from the Hokies getting a further lead right now.
Of course, yeah, the lead still remains within a 1-point margin. There, Virginia Tech is leading by 11, or by 1, with a score of 11. Chapman has that score of 10. We just have more than 3.5 minutes here in the fourth quarter, so enough time for Chapman to make another goal and have it be tied, perhaps even 2. But as the clock, does tick down, this is becoming a more contentious game again.
100%, and back in the hands of 29 right now for the Hokies. He's been such a great player. Oh my God, made that score. Number 29 for the Virginia Tech team. This is his second point of the game so far. Oh my God, what a great score right there from him. Dylan Lang. Incredible game for him.
Yeah, that sophomore from Maryland. He had 8 goals and 1 assist so far this season. Continues to go ahead and perform really well in today's game as well. So this is some really great teamwork, leadership, and really good team coordination from the Virginia Tech Hokies as well. Chapman Panthers are, they now have a margin of 2 points now. So they do have to work a little bit harder if they want to go ahead and win today's game with just more than 3 minutes on the clock.
This game is getting quite intense, folks. Looks like, Chapman won the face-off. All right. Can Chapman put up more than 2 points in the last bit of this quarter? Let's see. All right, back to DeColobus. Swinging it over to Brueggemann. All right, where's he going to go? Where's he going to pass? Over to Seabury. All right, Brueggemann coming in hot. Back to DeColobus.
That really great player that a lot of the freshmen look up to, taking some defensive action.
All right, number 12 right now with the ball, cradling. Who can he pass to? DeColobus. He's right there. All right. The defense has been so strong on DeColobus just because they know, he's such an incredible game maker of this game here. Seabury trying to find a connection to DeColobus, working in the X, coming around the crease. Oh, and he missed the shot. Now out of bounds.
As the game approaches this side of the field, it's important to notice and recognize number 15, that goalie. That is Andrew Wickham again, the senior from Pennsylvania. He had 18 saves so far this season, and last season in 2024, he was the Lacrosse Specialties Player of the Month. So he's continuing to perform quite well, as gameplay will resume in just a few moments. Resumes right now.
All right, DeColobus bringing it over to Volman. Volman, who's normally one of the top scorers in games, is... Oh, there he goes! Right as I said that, he brings in a goal for the Chapman Panthers.
Back at a 1-point margin.
Now making it 12-11 for Josh Volman.
Yeah, Josh Vomand, he's part of that, a dynamic duo again. Him and Jack Worth have been an excellent duo, but Vomand, he's that senior here at Chapman. He went to Monte Vista High School. So far this season, he's had 9 goals already. So he's definitely been a really key player. He's also one of the midfielders here. So again, the game of the middies, they are definitely the ones to watch.
Josh Vomand went to Monte Vista High School. That's in my neck of the woods. And I know Lucas Losi, also on the Chapman Panthers, attended Monte Vista High School as well. They have an incredible lacrosse program up there in Danville, California. All right, now back up in the hands of the Hokies. Number 40 running downfield.
Just more than 2 minutes on the clock.
This is intense, folks. Hokies lead by 1. And into 42, Alex Ashley.
One of the top players, originally from the Virginia native. He's been having some really strong gameplay today. He's also been really showing some signs of great teamwork with the rest of his team. He hasn't been using it all for himself. He's been passing it to his team, having some great coordination with the rest of the team. Their strategy seems to have been holding up really great, as you can see reflected in the score.
100%. Oh, aggression of 41. Oh my God. Number 4 on Virginia Tech, Jake Blybaum, puts it in the goal. making the score 13-11. Things are getting a little bit worrying for the Panthers here, Ryan.
I know, Ryan Shugart, that goalie over there, that freshman goalie, he seems to have been perhaps becoming a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, because just the amount of goals they've had him in for the better part of the game. Actually, he's been there for quite some time. We saw him practicing during halftime as well. Perhaps maybe this is time for the Panthers to switch out goalies, but right now this is definitely an interesting time to watch as he was right there, and his time for defensive play seems to have slipped the last couple of times.
I agree with you, Ryan. Having the choice to have one full-time goalie is a bit, there's an injury here in the face-off.
Yeah, we'll pause. Game will pause for just a moment.
Great intensity right there.
Of course, another reminder of lacrosse's really physical aspect that makes it interesting to watch, but also remember has real implications. The injured players from the Virginia Tech Hokies, for his privacy and for the sake of morality, we won't be showing him on camera, but gameplay is paused for now. Like we said, this happened during the face-off just moments ago with just more than a minute, exactly actually, a minute and 20 seconds on the clock here in the fourth quarter. The Hokies have the lead, 13-11, a margin of 2 points.
And we see a lot of those Chapman players showing support, and along with a lot of the Hokies themselves, just trying to show respect and everything for, right, he's getting up. He's taken off to the sidelines right now.
Applause in the crowd.
Yeah, doing all right now. So, yeah, he will be moved to the sidelines and be assessed in the injury tent, and then we will continue on gameplay from then. But, yeah, this just shows, folks, how this is really such an intense game, because this is really a must-win game for both teams. For both of their records, this is really an intense game just to instill confidence and show that both of these teams are really here in their respective conferences. Oh,
of course, and we've had a couple injuries today. I mean, earlier we had number 15, that goalie. He stepped out a little bit ago, and then Chapman player number 42, Luke Morissette, who's out for the rest of the game. So.
All right, back in the hands of the Panthers. All right, Bergman, can they make any more points in this game? Let's see it, folks.
Yeah, as you come down to just less than a minute of gameplay.
What a nail biter. DeColobus running, trying to make a connection, and
it's a miss.
Couldn't make it in. All right, and now McDonald coming to scoop back the ball, bring it in, bounds. All right, and timeout.
Yeah, Adam McDonald's a sophomore attacker here at Chapman. Another year of lacrosse. From last year, he went to Modern Day High School out here in Orange County. Another really great sports program. He was part of the starting lineup for the Chapman Panthers, so this has been really interesting to watch play out, as he's also been for the better half of the game again. Adam McDonald has had a really strong presence throughout the game. He's had possession of the ball for a great portion of the game. When it goes out of bounds, you'll see the referees discussing right in a moment as gameplay resumes shortly with just more than 50 seconds.
Looks like there's a bit of a miscommunication there on who called the timeout or what exactly happened. But after speaking for a few moments with the referees, I think it was a timeout on the Hokies that just called that. So I think this is a good point to take a moment and kind of assess what the Panthers need to do, because things have just gotten so intense right now with both of these teams. Virginia Tech has had such a remarkable comeback in this game. Panthers leading at one point in this game as many as 6 points ahead of them. So, Ryan, what do you think the Chapman Panthers could do at this moment to revitalize and get some more points on the board?
I think they're going to need some coordination. They're going to need a strategy on how to rebut Virginia Tech's strategies on what they're doing. We've talked about that 10-man line. They're a very strategic team. They're very well experienced and very well coached again. And Chapman knew this going in. You interviewed the coach, and he's told you that. I spoke to Adam McDonald a couple days ago, and he's also told me that. And so this has become really a game about strategy. And I think, we've seen excellent gameplay from both sides, but I think right now this is coming down to the nitty-gritty, that research-driven, that technique-driven sportsmanship, as we have less than a minute on the clock. I mean, could Chapman score 2 more and put it into a tie? They could, but it's going to be a little bit difficult right now. And right now, the Virginia Tech Hokies seem to have, although they didn't start in the lead, they're definitely ending in the lead. There's a 2-point margin again. Even if Chapman scores 2 points, they'll be tied. So they'll need to score 3 in order to go ahead and take home a win today and change their standings in the SLC. Right now, Chapman, again, is at the lowest SLC standing. So
Great
we'll
report
have to,
there, Ryan.
We'll have to wait a little bit.
All right, now we're getting back up started with our gameplay. In the last 53 seconds of this game, what can the Panthers do to try to make a comeback? We'll just see right now. All right. Back over to Worth. Bowman, excuse me. Both of them, they're such great players. Oh, there we go.
There we
Rocco
go.
Reginelli with his 4th point of this game so far. Reginelli, come on. This is his game.
Of course, yeah. We're now at a 1-point margin. It's 13-12. It's almost as if they're listening to us now. So doing really great now. Take a look at this replay. You'll see that awesome shot over there that he made. He's becoming a really great player here for the Chapman Panthers. So this is becoming a contentious game. We'll see right here at the face-off who gets control of this ball with just more than 40 seconds here on the clock.
Look at this spirit right now in the last 42 seconds of this game. Rocco Reginelli's hoping to turn it around for these Panthers. Let's get the ball back to Rocco. All right, now this face-off is happening right here. Can the Panthers get their hands on it? And they have been winning most of them so far in this game. And the Panthers have it. Oh, was it scooped up by the Hokies? What's going on?
Nico Orsino is back in the game. He seems to be putting some pressure on the Hokies, as the Hokies do have the ball.
They scooped that away at the last moment there.
Of course.
Really proven themselves to be an intense fighter in this game. Now the clock is winding down, and Virginia Tech has won. All right, let's see it. Last few moments of this game here. Chapman is down 12-13, and it's winding down, and the X right there, threw it high in the sky, and Virginia Tech wins this game here at Wilson Field against the Chapman Panthers.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, you know, we saw them in the first half. They were trailing behind during the first half. So we were kind of talking about how, you know, they definitely have a possibility. Well, that possibility did become reality. So, you know, Virginia Tech Hokies, again, have made the winning goal as, you know, we come to a close for the game with 0 seconds on the clock in the 4th quarter. Again, the winning score, or the final score, excuse me, is 13-12. Chapman down by just 1 point. Unfortunately, they don't have their opportunity to go ahead and be part or raise their standing as part of the Southwestern Lacrosse Conference.
Yes, this has been an incredible game so far for both of these teams. We've seen incredible efforts, you know, switching up gameplay, learning strategies. You know, no matter who won this game, I feel like it's important to note that both of these teams really played their best lacrosse out here today, learned new things, did so much research, and really played their best game. And we got to look at number 42, Alex Ashley. What an incredible player from this Virginia Tech team. He has been killing it with all of these goals that he's made, and he, you know, he's been the top scorer for the Virginia Tech team so far this season, and here he goes again, Ryan.
Yeah, Alex Ashley has been really important towards this game's dynamic and that sort of leadership. He's that, again, I've mentioned it several times throughout the game, he's that all-conference midfielder, so he's so strong in that. Ben, you know, did not put it lightly when he said that this was the game of the midfielders, you know, and, you know, now are the midfielders who we're highlighting right now. Alex Ashley, in the 2023 season, he had 7 goals and 3 assists. Just last season, he had 14 goals. He doubled that in just 1 season. He's a native to Virginia, coming from Asheville. He's a senior, so he has 3 years of collegiate lacrosse experience right behind him. And so clearly this has helped his team tremendously as they've turned around the game results in the second half of the game, as today's men's lacrosse team goes ahead and comes to a close.
Exactly. This has just been an incredible game for both teams, especially for players like Alex Ashley. You know, a consistent top scorer, but really proving it in this game today. And we've seen, you know, other than Ashley, we've seen other great players like Rocco Reginelli making 4 goals in this one game.
Yeah.
That's incredible from a midfielder like him. And then other players like we saw Bowman and Worth, an incredible duo on the midline, the swamp, as the players of Chapman like to call it. And, you know, having these types of duos and connections is what makes games like this in Chapman men's lacrosse so exciting for us to watch.
Of course, and we've talked about the dynamic between the two teams as well, and the dynamic specifically of the team within itself. We said how Chapman had a really interesting dynamic, but Ben Sherman is here with Alex Ashley on the sideline. Hey Ben, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with our CSBN MVP, Virginia Tech's number 42, Alex Ashley. Alex, let's talk about your guys' last weekend first. You played 2 games. Obviously, that OT loss to Texas. Couple that with a 3-hour time change and a cross-country travel. How did you guys stay ready and prepared to get the win today?
Honestly, it's kind of tough. I woke up this morning at like 5 a.m., so that was not ideal. But we went to practice at La Jolla High School yesterday and just get our legs moving, get warmed up a little bit. And, props to our defense. They played an outstanding game in the second half today, so props to them.
And about that second half, let's talk about you. You had 5 total goals on the day, 4 in that second half comeback. What was clicking out there for you today?
Our offensive movement was just working. They were clearing so much space for me. So, the rest of the guys, without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I did today.
And then obviously Monday night, you guys are heading down to play SDSU. What are you guys taking away from today that you're going to go out with there on Monday night?
Close game today. We just want to carry that momentum into Monday.
All right, CSBN MVP, Alex Ashley of Virginia Tech. Guys, I've been Ben Sherman from the sideline. Lindsay and Ryan, back to you.
Thank you so much, Ben. That was such great insight to hear from Alex Ashley himself, who has been such a top scorer, to see what his perspective of lacrosse is like. And tune in to see, we'll have Chapman Lacrosse will be playing tomorrow against UCSB. And we have Virginia Tech playing against SDSU, the top in the SLC, Monday night at 8 p.m. But we want to mention one more time that we have this fundraiser again for Chapman Men's Lacrosse. If you're just tuning in now, to really demonstrate your support for the team, because they are not funded by Chapman University, as it's only a club team. So please donate if you can.
Yeah, you can donate by scanning the QR code over on your screen to go ahead and support your fellow Panthers, or if you just support your Panthers and you have the means to do so, we greatly encourage it. It really does help the Panthers and their athletic journey as they continue to play against the SLC pretty early in the season. There's a QR code. One more time, make sure to scan it or rewind if you missed it. Otherwise, yeah, strongly recommend you donating.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. This has been Lindsay Johnson, Ryan Kaiser, and Ben Sherman, all here with the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network. Thank you for watching this great lacrosse game here today. Have a great day.